Isaiah chapter 66, verse 4. I will also choose their delusion, and I will bring forth fear upon them. Because when I called, none did answer, and when I spake, none did not hear. But they did evil before me, my eyes, and chose that which I delight not. Yeah, like I was saying, Isaiah 5 and 20. When it says, "One to you that take good for evil and evil for good." 5 to that. Got it? Yeah. A quick point.
Yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil."
Right? Because, like it says here in the Isaiah 66, you know, they choose evil. Right? And that's woe unto them because they had not known that it was of evil. They think it's something good. Here's some people saying some folly that, you know, why I had prayed to Jesus, you know, and Jesus told me I could take the vaccine. And that's a delusion for you right there. The religion, the Christianity doesn't be used up for you right there. That's evil.
What else Sergio Bourget can tell them to do?
Exactly. Right? Make no marvel. Make no marvel. Even Satan himself has manifest himself transformed into angel of light. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it says that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Because right now they're bitter. Right? Because a lot of them saying here, why security system could still get access to my bank account, could still get access to my AI, so could still get a job. But Yahweh said in Revelation, you know, thou art poor, miserable, and blind. Yeah. Right? You think you're rich, your riches is going to help you. Right? Yeah. What you got from here? Yeah, can't.
Yeah, you know, and one of the brothers, right, actually sent a video in the group, all right, and one of the takeaways from the video is that this thing that they put in, one of the things that they put in the vaccine is called graphene oxide, right, and you know, there's a nanoparticle that is actually built up, all right, and that's why a lot of persons getting blood clots, right. You know, and this is going to show that a lot of persons in edify on what they putting into their body, because if they know, they won't take it, right? You know, and some of them showing away their life, you know, taking this vaccine just for a $19,000 grant from the government, right? You know.
Yeah, this is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of wars and evil and of pestilence."
Yeah, God. Of wars, of evil, and of pestilence. All right? I'm prophesying these things against many countries. All right? Just like we're prophesying against many countries right now. All right? You know, America will fall. All right? England will fall. All right? And wherever else these Edomites set up, they're going to fall. All right? You know, they're going to fall to the ground. All right? I know it says of war, pestilence. All right? Which C19 is a pestilence. All right? You know? It's a disease, all right? It said of evil. What evil mean? Bad times, all right? And this is a bad time, all right? Because when the government will give you some fucked up decision like, you know, take the job, or lose the job, you know, that's bad times, all right?
Just
You know?
Let's look at the prices of food right now. You understand? On your paycheck, you could barely afford, you know, to eat properly based on what they're paying you. All right? and then how they set up the entire system to oppress the so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives, because these Elamites, they got it. You see, they got the farms, they got generational wealth, which they could, you know, basically enjoy or live it up even in these crises. You see, but who's suffering the most is the so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives. You know, so it's a bad time. Just look at what's going on.
Yeah, we can. I know it's a messed up thing too, right? Everybody is so focused on this plague that, you know, there's a whole lot of shit that rising that people ain't really getting the time to pay attention to. All right, you know, a lot of women, a lot of children is going missing. All right, you know, food prices going through the roof, gas price going through the roof. All right, there's a lot of other messed up thing going on. All right, but you know, the scriptures say, you know, the prophets prophesied these things of old. And one of the things that they prophesied was this, all right? The mark of the beast, all right? AKA the RFID chip, all right?
Yeah, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. It says,
Instead of your, we have a quick picture. That's
Yeah,
the
okay.
section. Right, this is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 28. It says, and fear not them which kills the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Right? As the scripture says, right? Find a place under the sun, you know, where is judgment. Right? Let me get it. Right? This is Ecclesiastes 3.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
Yeah, the place of righteousness, iniquity was there, because judgment is upon the earth. Right? You ain't going to die and going to no realm of fire or whatever punish. Right? Because chastisement is not for the soul. Well, the more like pain is not for the soul. You see, it's for you in the flesh. You understand? So yeah, that's straight on. So, you know, you're not to fear man that, you know, hey, if you don't take this job, you're not a part of the system, or if you don't take this job, you're gonna be penalized and stuff like that. You know, these people fear them of the flesh. They rather serve man than God. And Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You see? And there's a lot of them, this precept is going into. They that worship the beast. Yeah.
This is Romans chapter 13 verse 3. It says, for rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil wilt thou then not be afraid of the power, and do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. See, because what's going on right now, hey, they that suffering in this truth and doing this work, which is what good works. Alright? The rulers of this earth is not a terror unto them. It's a terror unto these wicked niggas out there. That's why they're taking the job and suffering the consequences. You know? That's why they are the ones that seeing the ultimatum, which is take the job or lose your job, alright, as you know, a difficult decision to make. Alright? And taking that job instead of losing the job. You know, because they don't fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's what the scripture said. It says, shall thou not fear the power? Alright? And then you will have praise of the same. You know?
That precept?
Yeah.
This is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 15. It says, "For this is the will of the power, that with well-doing ye may put aside it." Yeah, go on.
Yeah, right? But, go on, back to scripture.
Romans chapter 13, verse 3. It says, "For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same."
Yeah, can, right? And, you know, the way you break it down just now actually got me thinking, right? The scripture talk about destroy them with a double destruction, right? And that is, you know, basically they're taking the job, right? Which are already destroying them, but then the Most High still get another judgment for place on them. Right? There's the double destruction. Yeah. Right? Let me see if I can get you real quick. Yeah, can. It said, this is Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 18. It says, "Let them be confounded that persecuted me," all right? "But let not me be confounded. Let them be dismayed, but let not me be dismayed. Bring upon them the day of evil and destroy them with double destruction." All right? You know, and this is Jeremiah, you know, praying and prophesying, right? And right now we're in the state of Jeremiah, all right? He said, "Let not me be confounded," all right? And this is what we praying to the Most High for. Let us not be confounded, all right? But these other people, all right? Because really and truly, if you're not a part of the 1/3, the elect on the 1/3, then you're heathen, all right? You know, thus says the scripture, right?
Right, there's 1 Peter 3 and 17. "For it is better, if the will of God be so, that he suffer for well-doing than evil-doing." Right? Because these people evilly taking a substance within their body for the system. You understand? And they're suffering. And still suffering. You understand? That's for evil-doing you're suffering from.
Like one of the thing, right? That a healer might tell me, which I didn't expect any better from she anyways, right? Is that she gonna take the vaccine and she expect her life expectancy to drop, right? But she can just take it so that she could put her son, right? She could keep her job to put her son through college. I was like,
You could walk on the pavement.
You could have passed already.
Huh?
You walk on the pavement. You didn't have to walk. No, you don't cut him. This can't cut a towel. This is the word of the Father can't cut a towel.
can, right? So she was telling me that, you know, she gonna take the job so that she could keep the job to put your son through college, right? So I was like, you know, one wickedness to do another wickedness, but anyway, you like Eden, can't really expect better, right? You know?
Because she know that this job killing she.
Exactly.
But
She
still yet-
admitted.
She doing it like she doing it out of goodwill, but what can happen? She son when she sent to college, she can end up take it too. And both of them gonna end up losing their life.
Understand this with the Edom, right? If the male die, you know his son or whoever we should have with he, right? Meaning his husband. What they try to do is still push the generation. Because remember they believe in the reincarnation as well. They push the generation forward, right? Even if it means sacrificing themselves. But what, they're gonna do it in vain. Because it's the last generation.
That's right.
Right? This generation seek it for a sign. For a sign of you know, Jonah them again.
Right?
Yeah, back in Revelation chapter 30, verse 16, it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads."
Can. You said this, right? You know, any other camp that teaching that, you know, it's okay to take the job, you know, y'all fucking up. right? They fucking up big time, right? Because there's no way acceptable to take the vaccine, right? You know, you're supposed to rely on the more side.
Deceiving the people.
Yeah, can't. You know, and they're deceiving the people, right? They're being devils, right? You know, and just like they tell you take the vaccine, the next thing you know, they're gonna tell you take the mark of the beast, right? You know, take the chick. You know, I think one of them said they're gonna be the first person to take the chick, right? But anyway.
Yeah, this is Luke chapter 14 and verse 28. It says, "Ye have heard how I said unto you, I go away and come again." Salakia and John. This is, yeah, Luke chapter 14. Alright. And verse 28. It says, "For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it?" Alright, and why I read it is because even before we come into this truth, alright, or rather, as we come into this truth as a babe and we growing, you know, there were certain scriptures that was expounded unto us. Alright, certain scriptures like Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, you know, prepare your heart for temptation. Alright, this scripture that tell you about counting the cause, and this is what you have to do even before you come in. You know, the bigger brothers, the heads of the camp, the apostles, all told us, hey, when you come into this, you're gonna suffer. This thing that you're gonna have to give up. Alright? You're gonna become a pilgrim upon the face of this earth. Alright? And those are costs that we have to count. You know, because now we're living in the time in which we was learning about, you know, 3 or 4 years or 15 or 20 or 30 years, depending on how long we've been in the truth. You know, now we living in it. Now we seeing this house going up. The prophecy is coming to pass.
Yep.
All right. And if you didn't come to cause, then you're being what? You're not following the scriptures.
And you're supposed to be more built up now.
Yeah.
Right? Because and more at the time. Because at the time, you know, it's one thing to believe, right? Then belief come first. You know, that hope. You know, that faith. You know, faith is the absence of things that we hope for. Things not seen. Right? We live in that faith. And now seeing these words come to pass and the minute the Lord that when teaching us things come to pass, they're supposed to build up more, even more.
Yeah.
Because the words will fall. Right?
Yeah. Let me go on some more, right? It says, "Less happily, after he had laid the foundation," you know, the basis of the scriptures, the breakdowns, all right, knowing that he's an Israelite, so on and so forth. It says, "And is not able to finish it, and behold, it begin to slack you, and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him." All right, and you're going to become a mocking stock, you know, because you taking the job eventually going to lead you to take the RFID chip, because the job is decreasing what? Your mental faculties. All right, it's messing around with your spinal cord, all sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know. All right. So you more and more successful to taking the RFID chip. You know, because you're getting the programming at this point. All right. So you're gonna become what? A mucking stock.
Scripture did say in 2nd Ezra that, you know, those that consent unto them will be held in derision.
Exactly.
All right. You know.
Yeah, it is.
I can't. Hey, this is Philippians chapter 3, verse 8. It says, "Ye doubtless, and I counted all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahushua Hamashiach, my Lord." All right, counting all things as loss just to obtain, you know, the perfect knowledge of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You know, so you got leave off the things, you know, that you know in the world. All right, like I was watching this documentary today, right? You know, with this basketball player, Kevin Durant, right? He said that in order to perfect his game, all right, in order to be the level that he's at right now, he had to forget, you know, relationship with friends, all right, family members and stuff like that. You had to make a lot of sacrifices. And this is the same thing applying this truth, all right? You know, you gotta shun some of your family members, all right? You gotta put off some of your friends in the world, all right? You can't really go out with them, all right? You know, even attaining certain things in this world, you gotta put off, all right? You know, maybe you wanted to pursue a degree, all right? But you gotta leave off those things so that you can gain the perfect knowledge of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, all right? And what the scripture says the perfect knowledge of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai? Immortality, you know? Continue by time. It says, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but